University of Florida. University of Florida, Scott Stricklin is the AD of the entire coaching search right now. You guys balled out in a way that Ole Miss was like little babies and settled for a 5 or a 6. You guys played the game perfect. You went after the hot girl at the bar. You went after the 10 and Chip Kelly. Gave him a great proposal. Chip liked you. UCLA came open at the same time, unfortunately. You guys did your job. You fired McElwain at the right time. McElwain had no offense, had Felipe Franks, had all these players, had Callaway. Dumpster fire. McElwain couldn't control his players. McElwain would get set off by a freaking dead, naked shark report. Sarcastic goober of a guy, unlikable, and his offense sucked, and offense was his calling card. So I'm tired of these, they won the SEC East. They won the SEC East because of Randy Shannon and because Will Muschamp had a recruiting tear on defense. And you're even seeing Will Muschamp's effect at Auburn right now with some of the guys they have on that defense, on that defensive line. You know, that Kevin Steele is rolling with Gus Malzahn right now. So Florida went after Chip Kelly. Chip said no to UCLA, better fit, Pac-10, whatever, Pac-12. Personally, Scott Frost, he's never had a bad season in his life. He was there with Chip Kelly at Oregon. He even coached on the defensive side of the ball. He took UCF from a winless program to an undefeated program. He's taken his lumps. He's gone and been a head coach at outside of the Power 5 in the American Conference, and he's had an incredible tear and an incredible run. Scott Frost is another 9.5. If Chip's a 10, Scott's like a 9.5. Scott wants to go home to Nebraska. Understandable, you did your due diligence. You're sticking to the list. Then you come back, and your third option, Dan Mullen. Most schools would panic after their first two options. No. Scott Stricklin went back to his old friend Dan Mullen. You guys lock up Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen's a football coach that in Starkville, Mississippi, which is, I think, by all accounts, I'm not saying this offensively, but in terms of the SEC facilities or the SEC universities, it's not towards the top. And Starkville's a hidden gem. There's wonderful people that live in Starkville, Mississippi. But in terms of getting recruits to go to Starkville, to go to Mississippi State, there's not a lot of pull or gravitas towards there. It's not like you're walking into tradition at all. I think you're walking into almost none. You're walking into the worst of the SEC West. And Dan Mullen took that program. He added Dak Prescott. He added that running back Robinson. He's added Fletcher Cox, great defensive players that have played at Mississippi State. Jeffrey Simmons is a 5-star guy. He took that program. They beat Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl a couple of times. They, in fact, beaten Auburn a couple of times. They almost beat Alabama. They were an 8 or 9 win team. They went to LSU. They've beaten LSU the last couple of years under Dan Mullen. He takes quarterbacks like Dak, who's a pretty good player, makes him even better. Nick Fitzgerald, a kid born in Germany to a military family, and then goes to Stonehill, Georgia. And this is a guy that runs triple option in high school, maybe throws the ball 5 times a game, and he makes Nick Fitzgerald into one of the most prolific quarterbacks, not only in the conference, but the country. Now imagine what Dan Mullen could do with guys that he could recruit in the state of Florida, which I think is the most football-rich state maybe in the country, Texas and California included. I think it's better than actually California. I think Florida's top 2. Matt Corral already said that he was coming to Florida. Great quarterback prospect. College football is about the quarterback. It's about developing. And Dan Mullen developed Tebow. Dan Mullen was there with Urban Meyer. He's seen Florida in its glory days. It is a big-time hire. If he did well in the SEC West in Starkville, Mississippi, then he's going to kill it at Gainesville. He's going to kill it with the Florida Gators. It's a very, very nice hire for Florida. Florida fans should have no complaints. Scott Stricklin did fantastic job. You guys got the clear-cut third choice, the clear-cut winner, and Dan Mullen is going to be fantastic at Florida. He's going to recruit really well. You're going to have tremendous offense. You're going to get enough defensive recruits that you're going to be fine on defense. And you guys are going to win some SEC championships, and Mullen should be there about 8 to 10 years. That's how good Dan Mullen is. Class guy, knows how to run an organization, knows how to run a program, battle-tested, about the safest hire you could have made, but yet a very good hire. So Florida, congratulations. Scott Stricklin, beautiful job. Beautiful job. No panic whatsoever. Very decisive, down the line thinking. It's not wild. It's not like John Curry. We're flying to see Gruden. We're flying to, see, we're checking with Doug Marrone. Is he interested? Is this guy interested? No. Got the list. Got a very rational list. And you went down the line and did your job. So congratulations. Big time hire by Florida. Should be no complaints or regrets. You guys will be